Right. So now we are going to start the SAP ABAP topics. The first topic to be learnt is after introduction of everything, okay, and whatever being discussed, you can just do the thorough explore on that day, okay, every day, whatever being taught and introduced. So now, if you go to the 26th session of this, okay, session 26. Okay, so somewhere I have this in between. Okay, many things are covered. Yes, 25 prerequisite topics over. Going forward is this. So going to be yes. Now ABAP SAP architecture. It is not ABAP architecture. See, okay, we are yes. Architecture is very good. Is the first topic. Okay, and moreover which is important topic, which is the complete, this is foundation of the rest of the course. That means all topics are related on architecture only. Yes, I am introducing every day. I will come back and I will introduce all topics with respect to architecture point of view also. Then only you can become SAP architect, technical and functional architect, or BWBA architect also. So foundation should be very clear. That's what I believe it. So that tomorrow you will catch everything. You will get automatically ideas. Suppose architecture knowledge is required for for first we'll go in a functional point of view. All functional consultants, they have to aware of where we are working, how we are connecting. After connecting, and if I do some configuration, where this configuration data gets saved, all these dimensions you have to know, right? Completely, end to end. Next, so then ABAP consultants have to know front end, back end concepts, and moreover, if I develop a program or table or screen or form where this is going to be stored or saved, once I retrieve the yesterday's developments also, okay, how this development happens, front end to back end connectivity, data storage topic, everything you have to know. Then the basis consultants, hmm, basis consultants are responsible to know the architecture in and out, in depth, complete, end to end. They have to have complete, because the issue may happen at any level. At a, I told you, at a hardware level, at a system level, OS level, on top of that at a database level, or at application level, or front end level, at cloud admin level, any level, they have to understand. That's why this is very important topic. Okay. Yes. So I said SCP, actually it is called as R3 architecture. Okay. There is a okay R3 architecture. Yes. So now actually R1, R2, R3 architectures are there. Like SAP full form, R stands for real time. Real time is nothing but online. Yes, that is, it's a kind of real time system, online system. Okay, it is considered as a yes. Everything real time data is stored. That is daily transaction data is stored in this system. That's why it is called as a real time system, right? Day-to-day transactions, data is captured. Three stands for three stands for obviously three tier uh, three tier architecture. Yes. So what is one tier, two tier, three tier? Okay. Okay, fine. We will see why we use this tires or layers, this terminology and all. We have to study in detail depth. And moreover, what is missing? This architecture knowledge is required for consultants main. Users, they might not require this knowledge. If they have some, that is okay. Otherwise, it's not required because they are least bothered where this data gets stored or how this application runs and all, how this SAP backend development, all those stuff is not required hmm, for users. Okay, so it is mainly the all the three consultants must have. So today onwards, by this time you are familiar with my way, my approach, my strategy, my explanation, and all. Right, you have to adapt it. So this is the way. This is you have someone explain everything through PPT or slide, but here I will explain only by Notepad maximum. I'll switch to the diagram MS Paint. Sometimes I'll use my slides or I'll use SAP slides also. And finally, I'll switch to the SAP screen also. These are all the like tools I use to explain the concept to you. But however, this is new learning, first time learning, initial learning. You have to be very closely connected and observe it, clarify the doubts because we have that group. It's the same day itself. You write your all of your questions, or at this end also you have this two options. I want to tell you because you if you have any questions, one way is you can click on this raise hand so that I'll get some alert. I can look at, I'll stop my flow at one point of time. Who raises the hand, I'll come to him or her. We will discuss that. Otherwise, there is a one chart also is available, right? Chart is there. Ah, yes, chart is there. In chat also you can write your questions. Don't disturb my flow. You may have a feeling that I may forget my question till last minute. Okay, agreed. So you write question one, two, three. Before ending this, I will check it out at least all questions or anybody raise the hand. Accordingly, I can answer it. Otherwise, okay, this is the way. WhatsApp through you can write questions. Okay, before starting session, I'll already go through your questions and come back. Otherwise, this is spontaneously you want to clarify immediately, then these two options. Okay, however, definitely I'll stop my flow of at least 5 minutes before of the session, ending of the session. So at that time, I can clarify the doubts. Okay, this is the approach. You can make use of this raise hand and the chart also. Right. Google Meet supports that. Right. And I'll try to upload everyday sessions on the same day itself. With, right. Coming to the next topic. This R1, R2, R3, and the entire architecture I will introduce. But prior to that, okay, yes, we have to understand one small topic. SAP architecture, SAP architecture is built on the on means on basis of okay or by making use of client server, client slash server, client server. You can say client server structure or client server technology also. You can say that. Okay, so that's why, yes, before going to understand SAP, first you have to understand the client server architecture or client server structure or client server technology also. This is the most commonly technology used nowadays in all latest applications or latest high level programmings. Okay, client server concept. So this is very, very, very important nowadays. Okay, right. Yes, this gives maximum clarity. It might take some half an hour to 45 minutes time, but once you understand this, then SAP understanding become very easy also, right? Okay, yes. I'm moving on to the, yes, this topic. Client server to be understand in two dimensions. That is hardware point of view, software point of view. Let us go to the, yes, this is, we are calling it as a server. Okay, server is always represented as a cubical symbol. This is the server. Okay, then the client. Then this is the client 1, client 2, client 3, like this. So these clients are connected to the, these clients are connected to, yes, backend servers, like this. So this is your, the arrow. Yes, I can draw like this. Okay. So now you have to understand this arrow is bidirectional arrow. Sorry, bidirectional means double-headed arrow. So both sides arrow is there because it is not a unidirection, it is bidirection. You have to draw this, copy this and trace it in your notebook, white book preferably, because these diagrams you can. So now both, let's go to the, this is your server. So server is 1, but clients are n now. So this is your client 1. Yeah, yeah, wait, I'll come. So client 1, client 2, and as well as client 3. Yes. Okay, client 3, like this. So, okay, first of all, okay, hardware point of view. Client, okay, clients, client system is also installed by, that's what. Client is a system, even server is also system. Simply, first we will talk in this direction. But client system having less hardware resource. Okay. Now, but on the other hand, what next? Server having high hardware resource. What is the meaning of that? Because, yes, what is this? Client system request and next request server server response response to client request. That is, there is a kind of request and response happens. Okay, client's request. So you have to see it is a kind of request, and a request is one side. Then you will get respond also. Respond on other side. Respond on other side. So it is a bidirectional. That's why you have to, yes, that okay. It's not only one way. You will get both. First request comes, the request accepted by the server, then server responds to the client. Right. So in order to respond to the multiple clients, okay, the server must have high level many lot of, because it should hold the data. That's why obviously it must have the high-end RAM and processors, and size also it should be more. That means this is also a computer, this is also a system, this is also a system. But since the client systems, the load is less, okay, because it is only user one. User one connected to the client. User one uses client machine one. User two uses client machine two. User three uses client machine. That means yes, user three uses. So the users are using this client machines, front-end machines. So only one user is using client machine. That's why the expectation load is less. That's why it is having less RAM, less processor, less data storage also. Disk size, hard disk size also less here, more here. Okay, same thing also applicable to other clients. So first you try to understand hardware dimension. Hardware point of view, all are systems only. But these are all act like front-end systems. These are all act like a back-end systems. That's the reason. Uh, what happens? All front-end systems are. Sorry, I want to draw the flower bracket over here. You try to understand it. Okay. So this is, we are calling it as a, yes, new terminology. Everything might be new for you, but still you have to. So these are all called as front end systems. Then this is called as a back end systems. Yes, back end system or server. Okay, system or server. Okay, yes, clear. Now, like we one second. Client server, right? Okay, that is your hardware discussion is over. Then we will go to the software point of view. It is a kind of the activity happens is that request and response. Client system request for request, and the server accept the request and perform that activity, and it will respond back. So this is the bidirectional data flow happens in the, yes, front end to back end. Front end. Why it is named as front end? Because it is users can only interact up to this level. They are not aware of where is this data storage, how this front end machine connected to the back end. They don't have that knowledge. It's not required for them also. The users are only using the system. That's it. Okay. The administrators, they configured front end to back end to perform the data flow, data save and all. And the next backend server is generally the database installed in this. It is only to hold the data, large amount of data, huge quantity of data. So the data storage is backend system, data access is the front end system. These two just to try to understand with client server. Yes, nowadays all everything, all applications runs based on this concept only. That's why I feel this could be the first topic, client machine and the this. So again, you have to see the authorization. These users do not have direct. No, I want to connect directly to the server. Not all accepted. Only they have limited scope, limited access, limited authorization. Okay, right. This is about a client server. Then, so someone Raised the hand. What is that? Anyone have question? Right. 1 minute. Oh, how to understand client? I am going to. That's what. That I'm going to cover. Just give me time. I will explain in detail. Going forward within the upcoming topic, you will get complete. End of the topic, maximum I will try to answer all of your questions. Okay. Yes. Then coming to the next level, we are moving to the front end versus back end. We will discuss. That is, suppose we have we are just considering, okay, one database, proven database. Most of the commonly used database is Oracle. Even though it is cost also, they are proven leaders. The security, multi-layer securities are there. It's a most strong, robust database. That's why I'm calling it as Oracle here. Directly I'm writing Oracle. It's Oracle database. DB, short form we call it as database. So which is data storage purpose. Let us go to the, just we are comparing with, I am using Visual Basic suppose. Visual Basic means Microsoft .NET. You can say that. Okay, VB.NET. You develop it. So VB through, if you develop it, but at VB level, you cannot store the data. This front end system is connected to the back end. Front end to back end, there is a connectivity that is called as OD. What is that? Yes, ODBC. ODBC. It is Open Database Connectivity. ODBC driver through, it is establishing connection, but connection from front end to back end. Because in front end, whatever the data you enter, VB system cannot hold, VB software cannot store or hold the data. Its data should be stored in the back end only. So is this clear to you? Every interaction happens. Front end VB, back end could be SQL Server, Microsoft front end, Microsoft back end, or else VB front end, back end is Oracle. This is one of the comparison. Then go to the Java system. You might, okay, earlier it was Java from Sun Microsystems. Now Java is Oracle's. Oracle backend, Oracle frontend. Oracle frontend, earlier we have developer 2000 D2K. Now onwards, all the developments after acquiring Sun, all developments are happening through Java only. So the Java level also you cannot store the data. Java data is stored in the backend only. But again, how this front end system connect to the backend is JDBC drivers. So JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. Yes, it is every time we establish connection to the database so that the Java related developed data is stored in this. So development environment different, data storage area is different. This way you have to understand that. Okay, coming to the SAP ABAP now, because I want to give a comparison view. Suppose, right, now this is your overall SAP. Okay, I cannot write direct ABAP because ABAP is a inside of SAP, right? So first SAP overall. SAP inside many things, basis, functional and ABAP. One of the development area, development environment is this ABAP. So that is SAP inside programming language, ABAP, ABAP. Yes, this is your ABAP, right? ABAP, right. Now, ABAP level also, the data is, the ABAP level data cannot be stored. Even ABAP level, all programs or whatever the data you take it, it is going to stored in the database also. It is going to stored in the database only. See, it's not ABAP to the database connection, entire SAP to the database connection. See the arrow. That means entire SAP system data cannot be stored because SAP is also a front-end software. Try to understand the meaning now. SAP itself front-end software. Front-ends, okay? But you have to see there is no explicit drivers required to connect from front-end system to the back-end system. That is not required. This is only you have to understand. In Microsoft .NET, you need explicit connection to the back-end. Java, you need explicit connection. But nowadays, I don't know the latest one. But earlier, Java JDBC connection through we used to connect and work. But in SAP, we don't require any explicit connections. Why? Because the SAP supports any database. I said database can be database, Ingress, Sybase, Oracle, or your SQL Server, or else your DB2, or else your HANA also. That means we don't require ABAP or no need to connect explicitly to the database. That is not our job. Because when SAP system is started, that is when the instance is started, this connection automatically connection part is taken care by the SAP itself. We don't require explicit connection to the database. That is not required. Okay, even the system is designed in such a way that when you start the instance, automatically ABAP basis functional, everything gets started automatically. You can work it. Okay, these connections you no need to worry about it. This is one thing. Then next, front end versus back end we are going to discuss. See, Visual Basic is a front end, Java is also front end application, even SAP whole application itself is a front end. So the front end versus back end. Yes, back end systems are only used for, because see, something I'm writing here, something I'm writing in the notepad. So you have to manage, you have to know, you note down everything. So backend is used, backend is used for data storage. Backend is used for only data storage. Nothing more than that. You cannot do anything other than data storage in the backend. Okay, that the backend data is stored in the tables format that we will discuss. Tables integration, all those stuff I will explain further level. Right. Now, so even the entire, this is the clear. It's not only Oracle database. You consider any database. Database is meant for, the purpose of the database is to store data. That's it. Data safety, data backup, data security levels and all, they will, yes, administrators will take care. Coming to the front end. So what is the usage of the front end basically? Usage of the front end, it is because I am giving more generic to the specific I am coming to. You might observe I am coming from non-SAP to SAP every time. Yes, so that it is easy for anyone to understand. Now coming to the front end systems. So the front end is basically front end softwares are used for what? Used for three purposes. First purpose is to, okay, to design screens. Okay, to design screens or graphics. To, okay, yes, basically like screens through, you can design the screen, and again to display the report or to display graphics also, images also, like that. So generally, front end is a collection of screens. Okay, again you have to observe my way of explanation. So SAP, mm, okay, few days back I said SAP is a front end software. So SAP is a front end software. That means you now by this time you have to be more clear that SAP means it is not a hardware, it is software. SAP is not a OS or database. SAP is not a database also. SAP is only the front end application. It is front end software and as well as front end application also. Application complete. Okay. Next. So SAP data also stored in backend database. Backend database. So this is one thing. So I told explicit connection is not required in SAP. Okay, explicit front end to backend connection is not required. That is, SAP itself is responsible to take care of that connectivity part. Then next, here go to the further level. Yes, front ends generally front ends are used for which purpose? Yes, to design screens. So SAP software is a collection of front end screens. Front end screens. So screens involve what? Screens involve what? ABAP screens basically mainly is functional functional screens, functional modules related screens are more screens, and plus end user screens. Some screens, yes, end user screens. So that means to perform the screens are used, screens are used mm, for configuration and development, and next what? And daily activity, daily transactions also. Daily transactions purpose also. See, everything is screen concept is important in SAP. Everything. Yes, ABAP. So you can see in SAP, simply I can say one statement. SAP is a collection of collection of mm, functional screens, functional screens for to perform configuration activity plus basis screens basis screens to perform admin related activity. Even ABAP screens, ABAP screens to perform development activities. That means this is basis is admin activity, ABAP is development activity. Even suppose we are going to create a table creation also we use front end screen. Even I want to take a table creation, view creation, data element, domain creation, function model creation, global classes and methods creation. Everything we'll do it by using screens. Even I want to, okay, you can use SAP screens, you can create our own additional screens also. There is a one screen painter, menu painter through, we can design our additional screens. Even forms also. Like script smart form, Adobe Forms also can be designed by screens only. And finally, the core fundamental ABAP editor. The ABAP editor itself is a screen. Okay. The ABAP editor screen we call it as. We go to the ABAP editor screen, there empty editor is there because some blank editor is there. In the editor, we will start typing the code. Okay, so this is see, if you observe um, hour by hour, minute by minute, I am changing the dimension of introduction. Same topic only, it is going in a new dimension. So you have to catch and understand it. Okay, this is your overall front end point of view, one type of understand. So screens. So in SAP, generally, screens are used by the users to perform the daily activity also. It is not only the consultants. Yes, yes. SAP many screens are there, lakhs of screens are there. Screens are used by users in order to perform daily, day-to-day activities. What they do daily, they do transactions. Okay, sales, purchase transactions, all those stuff. So screen concept is most important. Front end screen concept because screens are there. Screens are designed in the front end only, right? So some screens, what is that? Some screens are report screens are there. Some screens are dialog screens are. So the report screens display the reports. Yes, right. In here, the report screens are nothing but list screens. We call it as list screens displays the report output. Report output. Some other screens are there. That is nothing but dialog screens. Dialog screens are used for what happens to accept users input users input and slash display output to the users. That means both. Suppose if we want to create a new vendor, new customer, okay, or new employee, new material, all those master data. So for if you want to create a new material in SAP, you have a specific screen or screens. It's a connection of sequential screens. You have to use it. So that screens through only you will create a new material. If you want to go to the vendor master, new vendor creation, those screens are separate. New customer creation screens are separate. Even employee, you want to create that screens are separate. Respective module consultants access those respective module screens and they will perform the respective activity, create activity. Even configuration activity done by consultants and daily activity done by the users. Even not only master data related, let's go to the transactions concerns. Transactions data also captured by the even transaction data also done by the users only. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Transaction data can be done by screens only. Sorry, what deviation. So screens only. Screens are used to capture the master data activities and even transaction data. Let's say example, uh, if you go for a sales order creation, yes, it cannot be done by a single screen. You have to go with one, two, three, four, five, six screens. So screens activity, even purchase order activity, production order activity, any delivery activity, invoice activity, payment or payment collection, all those activities, whatever all business activities, business process activities done by the screens only. But these screens are acting like input screen and as well as output screens also, both. Okay, everything. So two types of screens you come across. One is some screens are exclusively for report specific, some screens are exclusively for transaction specific, both. So screen concept is important. Then if you go to the, okay, in the reports, because mostly screens can be designed in two ways again. What is that? Code through screen creation, drag and drop through screen creation. Both. ABAP does support both type of activities. Going forward, you will come to know how screen can be designed code through or drag and drop design through also. You will come to know completely. Right, next. So, going forward, that is about your front end concept. Okay, yes, right. Screens and reports also and graphics also. What is the meaning of graphics or images? Okay, suppose in SAP report logo can be displayed. In SAP we have a form concept. The forms, what you can display is, you can display a employee photo also if you want, or else you can display one barcode also, or QR code also, or any kind of images also, company logos also. JPEG formats are different formats. Okay, those graphics displays also possible in SAP screens through. Okay, suppose if go to the comparison in VB, what we do? Same in VB Java also, we go for front end screen design. Okay, yes, for daily activity purpose. Screens are forms or reports. That is the basic purpose of any front end. So in SAP also we do the all similar activities. Right? We go for screen designing, form designing, or report display, all those stuff. Then finally, ABAP. ABAP through only we do all developments in SAP happens in ABAP, I said, correct? Even ABAP through we will discuss how this SD screens, screens, PP, all those screens and reports and forms develop and all, we will see how built-in things and how to create a custom things going forward. I will explain. Okay, clear? Then you, with this screen, you have to understand that the client is a front-end system, server is a back-end system, like hardware and software point. Software dimension is SAP is a front-end software. So, what is the meaning of end? This is one end, this is another end. So, this how these two ends are connected. There is a connectivity drivers, ODBC driver, JDBC drivers in non-SAP. In SAP, we don't require any explicit drivers to connect. This architecture design is something new, something different. When SAP started, automatically the database connectivity established and it will start also. The instance gets started here. Okay, this is about the overall. So going forward, we will discuss the screen concept. Hope you guys understand the screen concept. Yes, moving to the next level, that is screen concept. I will introduce hot topic. Let us. I will introduce this with one example also. Okay, another 40 minutes. We'll discuss quickly one example. One small application example we will see. Right. Uh, let's go for, because if you understand this small example, remaining entire SAP is easy for you. That's what I believe in. Like again, we will take one bank example. ICICI Bank. Bank application. How do we develop a bank application? So now we have, yes, who is user here? User is nothing but the obviously a bank employee, right? Yes, employee. Sorry, bank employee is a user. So user, he want to do daily activity. For them, we gave the training as if we designed many screens. I'm taking one screen here. This is called as front end screen. Okay, front end screen. But this screen, yes, designed in, assume that we are Java or any other front end software through. Yes. Then this is the backend. This is the backend server, right? Backend server holds many tables, right? Many tables are there. So this is your, yes, you have to understand this is a front end screen, front end screen, and this is a backend database. So this is the backend database, right? Data storage. Storage area separate, access area is separate, right? Now, this is the application. Okay, we have both connection, front end to back end connection is there, both to read data, uh, to update data from front end to back end, or else to read or fetch or retrieve the data from back end to front end. Both dimensions you can understand it. Then now this is one application example, sample example application, right? Now, if you go to the right, what is there in the front end application? Front end is a collection of screens. I said screen is a collection of some labels and input fields. First, what is my example? We want to open a one new account to the in the ICICI bank or SBI bank. So you go to the bank and you today you just got the information. These are all the support documents required. We prepared and all. We went to the bank next day to open a new account. Just so what happened? You submitted all of your documents. The clerk or user verified, bank employee verified everything. He has assigned the one new bank book to you. But what is his role? The user is connecting because nowadays all banks are automated. That means computerized. They are using bank application, either ready-made bank application or customized software they are using. So the user is connecting to the front end screen. That is just I am giving this is a kind of just like there is a one concept called as account open screen. Okay, something like that. So then here user enters the data. Which data? Which data? First and foremost thing is the what is it? Yeah, account holder name, first name, middle name, last name. Then nowadays three boxes they are giving, but there is no space. I am just giving one type of name. Name here. Name is a label or field label. Left side field label, right side is called as a input field. Input field. Then second one, name followed by city. I'm giving the second field called as city. So city is nothing but this is the city, right? Okay. Next, if you go to the, we have one type of account type. Okay, basically we have to have first field itself account number first of all, unique number, account to holder name and city, and as well as account number. Number is the first field it should be. Then after that account type. Just because there is less space, I'm going to type only few things only. So account type. Account type is only the single input field. It is holding only one digit, one character like this. So this is Screen is always collection of fields. Fields are two types. Right side input fields, left side labels are text fields. Text fields display the text. Based on the text, user can enter name here, city here, account number here, account type here. So the text labels are description based to tell the user what to enter on the. So labels are always left side, input fields are always kept as right side. What is input field? Input fields are accept input and display output. Input fields act like both the ways. Okay, right. Now, okay, this is your the front end screen concept. Here we have four buttons are also there. That is nothing but one is save button. Okay. Second is display button, and the third one is update button, and last is delete button or exit button or delete whatever. Yes, yes, because okay, delete is a negative activity. You can okay, fine, we'll keep it, no problem. So four buttons are there. Yes, these buttons are, yes, these are all separate buttons. Okay, correct? Yes, these are all in separate color I'm writing. So that, yes, push buttons or command buttons, we call it as. This is called as a front end screen and screen designing. Right. Now, in the back end, we have a table. So many tables are there, many tables, but one of the table is, yes, this table itself is the customer's master data or accounts holders data, customers table. Yes, because in this bank, all account holders are considered as customer to the bank. That's why I kept as customer table. This table is a collection of rows and columns, I said, correct? So rows holds the data row by row or line by line, but columns holds what? The column headings. Column headings. Yes, so that, yes, but I have very less space here. That's why I'm writing in a small way. So the first thing is this is your account holder number. Okay, account holder number. So this is next level is account type. Then this is name. This is name. This is city. Just because less space, I am typing this way. Right columns. As of now, the table is empty because no record is created. Now we want to create a new entry. Suppose first the user enters the data. Yes, we are trying to enter some new data here. Let's take one separate color. We will try to type something like that. So Ravi is the user. Ravi is the username. City is the Hyderabad. Yes. And account numbers are internal numbers as per the sequentially. We cannot choose any fancy number. I'm just typing 111 or 111. And account type is savings account, just like that. Okay, capital letter, capital S for savings account, just like. So when user click on save button, what will happen? This everything front end data, all screen information is going to update as a record. So this is what happens. Same data I'm going to write it. But front end name is the first field, but in the back end it is reverse. Correct? It goes to savings type and go to this is here it is Ravi. This way I'm writing HYD. It's like that. Hmm? Now you can see front-end data is updated to the backend. That's because the save button backend code is there. Because screens stores the data temporarily. Screens cannot hold the data permanently. Screens are acting like a interface to the user. Screens are interface to the user and database. Database is one end, user is another end. Screen is a mask. Screen is a template. Screen act like input screen. Okay, X which accepts a user entered values. That's why then there is a you can hold one button after save automatically this input values gets cleared. Or else there is a explicit refresh button or clear button you can use it to remove all the user input values. Okay, clear? Today we entered Ravi data, Kiran data, other employees data, other new account holders data like this. This is front end screen to back end. Over? Yes. But the next, what next? If you want to go to clear it off, you want to display. If you want to display, what you can do? You enter the account number and display. You can bring the backend data and display it in the front end. Why you want to display? At any point of time, you want to check, you can check it in the screen. Otherwise, user over a period of time, user shifted from Hyderabad to Pune, you want to change the address. User comes with Pune change of address. He submitted the address proof. What is your job? You have to change the address. But a user cannot go into the database directly. You want to change? No. User is authorized to change at the front end screen or level only. So that means screens are used for two purpose. What is the two purpose? Screens are used for initial data entry, even later modification, even finally user want to delete data also, all this DML data manipulations can be done by front end screen only, right? Even display also, you can display the data also. Suppose we'll bring the data, we'll change this Hyderabad to Pune and again we'll click on update now. So that what happens, this Hyderabad only gets replaced. Account number same, account type same and the name same, only address is modified. Okay, and finally user want to, no, I don't want account detail, close the account. Finally we bring the data to the front end, we'll delete his data history and all. That is a very specific sensitive activity, we'll do it very carefully. I want to tell you that screens are used to enter the data, to display the data, to modify the data, to delete the data. This is what you have to understand it. Okay, clear? Next, screens are used. Screens are used for basically why screens are used is to validate validation purpose. That's the basic fundamental logic why we are using screens everywhere. You go to the ATM screen. ATM screens are designed in such a way that any layman, even they don't know the English also, they can choose their respective local screen language, local language, they can withdraw the cash. Even they can insert the cash. They can do check balance. They can take many statements. One number of screens are, ATM screens are designed in such a way, it's more user friendly. So screens are user friendly. That's why everywhere we are using. That means screen means it is a kind of GUI based graphical user interface. So screen is a collection of this thing. Suppose users, if I ask the user that bank employee that you have to type 10 lines code to create a new account holder, that means bank employee may do many mistakes. Who will there to correct again code and all. So that's why we don't use code for this type. Only we'll use screens only. Screens are very user friendly, drag and drop features, easy to enter, easy to remember, easy to train users, also easy to adapt. Lot of advantages. What is the meaning of validation? Validation and verification is in fact it is a testing word. Valid. What is valid? Means checking the authorization. Suppose if you go to the company gate, they will ask, show me the ID card. If you show your ID card, if you display your ID card, then you are allowed inside. You are unable to show your card, you are not allowed inside. Strictly rejected. That is what is that one type of person authorization checking. Authorized people only get allowed to get inside. Otherwise, you are out, not allowed. Similarly, that is a kind of validation check. Correct? Similarly, daily we enter some passwords. That is also a kind of if you enter valid password, you are allowed inside. Otherwise, you are rejected. Similarly, here validations. What kind of validations? See here, suppose name is okay. You can type some 30, 35 characters length name. City is okay. We don't validate mostly. Yes, but you can choose the city name, whatever the bank available city name you have to choose. You cannot choose any other city where their branch is not there. Suppose account number. Account number validation is, see, there are lot many validations are there in account field. Account number should be only numbers. It is not alpha number. Account number should be some digits. Suppose even though it is a 4 digits also, but the leading zeros are automatically added. So what is the maximum length of account number field and what type of data it accepts accordingly the code already written. If you type ABCD in the account number, it will immediately shows the error message that ABCD is not a valid account number. That verification validation code is already there. That's why it is like it is system verifies automatically. Come to the account type. Suppose this bank supports only savings account. S for savings, R for recurring, and C for current account. Only 3 letters are allowed. Either savings account or recurring is sorry. S for saving, R for recurring. S or C. These 3 letters only allowed. You cannot enter other than these 3 letters. It is rejected because this bank does not support other than these account types. This validation code is there. So validation advantage is that only the valid data only can be entered into the database. Valid data can be accepted by the data. Invalid data rejected by the front end only. Invalid data rejected at the front end only. That's why we are using system screens everywhere. Hope you guys understand this. Screens are user friendly. Screens are used. mm, Screens are used to validate user input. Input means user entered values and update to backend. Yes, and again, if user enters accurate data, consistent data. Consistent means accurate. Accurate data, then entry valid. Entry means record accepted by the record accepted or record updated to database successfully. Otherwise, if user entered some wrong data, wrong means invalid data, wrong data, then that record rejected, record, that entry or that record rejected with error messages. Error message as invalid or wrong account type or wrong account number. This is about your overall screen's advantage. SAP, entire SAP built on this only the one concept. Yes, everywhere we work. Almost all configuration screens, end user screens works on this concept only. Right? There are some other additional screens, report screens. Those report screens we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, because that is a kind of different topic we will see. Okay, client server architecture to the functional technical architecture explained is okay. Yes. Okay, hope everyone got clarity. Okay, any questions? Join in the WhatsApp group and again we'll end the session here.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Excellent. Okay, sir.
Thank you.